After enduring disrespect during recent ups and downs, Rasheeda faced an unexpected turn of events. A shocking incident has sent fans into a frenzy, sparking intense speculation online. Eyewitnesses report that Kirk lost control entirely, leading to a terrifying attack that left Rasheeda deeply shaken. What began as a heated disagreement quickly escalated into something much more intense, with sources close to the couple revealing unsettling details. Social media is ablaze with reactions, and people are demanding answers. Did Kirk truly go too far this time? What caused this explosive outburst? And most importantly, how is Rasheeda coping with the aftermath? Fans are divided, with some defending Kirk and others calling for severe repercussions. Although the couple has had a tumultuous history, this incident may change everything. Stay tuned as we unravel the full story. What happened behind closed doors, how their loved ones are responding, and what this means for Kirk and Rasheeda's future. This scandal is one that simply can't be ignored. It all began as an ordinary evening for Kirk Frost and Rasheeda, but no one could have predicted how quickly things would spiral out of control. Witnesses claim the couple had been dealing with issues privately for weeks, but that night, things took a dark and unforeseen turn. Sources close to the couple say tensions had been building for some time, and on this particular evening, everything reached a boiling point. The argument started over something trivial, one of those small disagreements that couples often have, but it quickly escalated into a full-blown verbal battle. Rasheeda, known for her calm demeanor, initially tried to de-escalate the situation, not wanting things to get out of hand, especially in public. But Kirk wasn't having it. His frustration had been simmering for far too long, and it finally erupted. Eyewitnesses say he began pacing back and forth, his voice growing louder with each word. Realizing the situation was rapidly becoming dangerous, Rasheeda attempted to walk away, but Kirk blocked her path, his face contorted with anger as his tirade continued. At this point, people around them began to take notice, some pulling out their phones to record the heated exchange, while others whispered in shock at what they were witnessing. This wasn't just a typical argument between a married couple, it was something far more intense. The air was thick with tension, and the look in Kirk's eyes sent chills down the spines of those watching. Then, in a split second of uncontrollable rage, Kirk lashed out. The exact details of what happened next are still up for debate, but one thing is clear: Rasheeda was left stunned. A gasp rippled through the crowd as onlookers tried to process what they had just seen. Rasheeda stumbled backward, her face a mix of disbelief and pain. Never in a million years did she think Kirk would actually cross that line. He had always been reckless, letting his emotions get the best of him. But this time, it felt different. This time, it felt personal. The damage seemed irreparable, and someone in the crowd immediately shouted, "Yo, Kirk, what the hell, man?" Others rushed forward, some to comfort Rasheeda, others to confront Kirk. But by then, the harm had already been done. The cameras were rolling, and within moments, the footage spread across social media. Hashtags like Chars Protect Rasheeda and Kirk Frost Exposed quickly began trending. People were outraged, disgusted, and demanding accountability for Kirk's actions. Back at the scene, Rasheeda was still trying to process everything. Her hands trembled as she reached for her phone, her breath short and erratic. She needed to get away, to escape the chaos that was surrounding her. But Kirk remained there, staring at her with an unreadable expression. For a brief moment, it almost seemed like he regretted his actions, as if he wished he could take it all back. But that fleeting moment quickly vanished. His jaw clenched, and without saying another word, he turned and stormed off into the night. However, this wasn't the end of the situation. Rasheeda's closest friends had already been alerted and weren't about to let it go. Scrappy, one of Kirk's longtime friends, was among the first to hear about the incident and wasted no time calling Kirk. The conversation was tense, filled with anger and disbelief. "What the hell is wrong with you, man? You really lost your mind," Scrappy shouted, but Kirk wasn't in the mood to engage. He barely responded before abruptly hanging up. Back at home, Rasheeda was falling apart. She locked herself in her bedroom, trying to make sense of the nightmare she had just endured. Her phone kept buzzing with messages, texts from friends, family, and fans. Some offered support, while others demanded answers. Then there were the media outlets, already running the story and painting Kirk as the villain. But was there more to this than met the eye? Some sources claimed Kirk had been under immense pressure lately, dealing with business issues, personal struggles, and growing resentment. Had all of this finally pushed him over the edge, or had he simply become a man who let his anger consume him beyond the point of no return? As Rasheeda sat there, staring at the headlines, she realized this was bigger than one night. It was about everything. The years of betrayal, the countless times she had forgiven him, and how she had always been expected to hold everything together while he did whatever he wanted. And now, it had culminated in this public humiliation, a moment she could never forget. But the real question remained, what would she do next? Would she walk away for good? Press charges? Or would Kirk somehow manage to spin the situation to make it seem less severe than it really was? The world was watching, waiting for her next move. Little did she know, the storm was only beginning. As the night went on, the chaos surrounding Kirk and Rasheeda's shocking altercation only grew. Social media had erupted with reactions, and news outlets wasted no time picking up the story. By midnight, nearly every major gossip blog had covered it, each one adding new layers to the scandal. Fans flooded Rasheeda's Instagram with messages of support, while Kirk's comment section became a battleground of outrage. But while the world speculated, Rasheeda was in no state to respond. She had withdrawn from everyone, retreating to her bedroom to process what had just unfolded. Her phone buzzed non-stop. Calls from friends, texts from her team, even messages from people she hadn't heard from in years. But she couldn't bring herself to reply. The reality of what had just happened was too overwhelming to face. Meanwhile, Kirk had disappeared after storming off, going completely silent. He ignored all calls and refused to speak to anyone. Even his closest friends had no idea where he was. Some speculated that he was holed up in a hotel, trying to avoid the backlash, while others thought he might be strategizing, figuring out how to spin the situation before it got worse. Regardless of where he was, his silence only made the situation worse. As if the drama wasn't already at its peak, a new twist came to light. An anonymous source, claiming to be close to Kirk, reached out to a major gossip site with bombshell allegations. According to this source, this wasn't the first time Kirk had lost control in this manner. It was simply the first time it had been caught on camera. The source revealed that there had been numerous incidents in the past where Kirk's temper had flared behind closed doors. They claimed that Rasheeda had covered for him repeatedly, making excuses and brushing things under the rug to protect their public image. This revelation sent shockwaves through the internet. Fans, already outraged, now had a new perspective. They weren't just condemning Kirk for one incident, they were questioning everything about his relationship with Rasheeda. Had she been silently suffering all this time? Was Kirk more dangerous than anyone had realized? The speculation spiraled out of control. Old clips from Love and Hip Hop resurfaced, showing moments where Kirk had raised his voice at Rasheeda or where she appeared visibly uncomfortable. Fans began dissecting every argument and tense interaction, searching for signs that this had been building for years. Some even started a campaign demanding Rasheeda leave Kirk for good, using the hashtag #JarkFreeRasheeda. While the internet was busy piecing everything together, Rasheeda was still grappling with her next move. She had spent years defending Kirk, standing by him even when he had humiliated her before, the cheating scandals, the betrayals, the constant disrespect. She had forgiven it all. But this time, it was different. This wasn't just another betrayal. This was something she couldn't simply brush aside. Candy Burris, Rasheeda's best friend, was one of the first to reach out to her. Candy had always been fiercely protective of Rasheeda, never afraid to speak hard truths, and this time was no exception. "Rasheeda, listen to me," Candy said, her voice steady. "You can't let this go. This isn't just about you and Kirk anymore. The whole world is watching." Rasheeda sighed, rubbing her temples. "I know, Candy, but you don't understand. If I go public, if I say something, it's over. Everything we've built, everything we've worked for, it's gone." Candy shook her head. "Girl, it was over the second he put his hands on you." That hit Rasheeda hard. For years, she had convinced herself that as long as she kept the drama behind closed doors, as long as she held it all together, they would be fine. But now, there was no more hiding. The world knew, and she had a choice to make. Meanwhile, Kirk was still in hiding, but that didn't stop people from trying to track him down. Reports began circulating that he had been seen at a club in Atlanta, drinking heavily and acting as if nothing had happened. Some even claimed he had been spotted with another woman, which only fueled the fire. Was he really that unfazed? Did he not care about the damage he had caused? Just when it seemed like things couldn't get worse, a leaked voicemail emerged. Someone had somehow obtained a message Kirk allegedly sent to a friend shortly after the incident. In the recording, he sounded angry and frustrated, but not at himself. No, he was blaming Rasheeda. "Man, she pushed me to this," Kirk's voice could be heard saying. "She knows how to get under my skin, and now she's acting like the victim. Nah, I'm not about to let that happen." The reaction was swift and furious. Instead of taking responsibility, Kirk was trying to portray himself as the real victim. The backlash came hard and fast, with even celebrities calling him out for his behavior. Tamar Braxton tweeted, "Ain't no excuse for what Kirk did. None. Rasheeda deserves better." Others, including stars from Love and Hip Hop and beyond, weighed in. But throughout the growing outrage, Rasheeda stayed silent. So what do you think? Did Rasheeda make the right decision by cutting ties with Kirk? Or is there more to this story than we've seen? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and remember, this is just the beginning. With rumors of Kirk's secret affairs, his career on the brink of collapse, and Rasheeda's potential new TV deal, things are about to get even messier. If you don't want to miss a second of the drama, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications. And hey, if you enjoyed this deep dive into the chaos, show some love by hitting that like button. It really helps. Stay tuned, because we'll be back with more exclusive updates on your favorite reality TV stars. Until next time, keep it real, keep it messy, and stay tuned for the next jaw-dropping twist.